Yeah, most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
Yeah, welcome to the bigs here. So you want to be in sports media, huh? Well, you're going to be wrong, kids. You're going to be wrong a lot. As we show you here every Wednesday on Write That Down, where we put statistics next to our predictions, presented by our friends at Dennis Kirk. It's been a long winter. You know, my God, it was like 7 degrees still a couple days ago. We're almost to baseball season, but it's coming. Nice weather's coming. Make sure your motorcycle, all you Ragnars out there, is ready to ride. Whatever you ride, a Harley, Indian, Metric Cruiser, sport bike. Dennis Kirk has what you need at DennisKirk.com. Over 180,000 parts and accessories in stock, clothing and helmets as well. Shipping is free for orders over $89, and if you order by 8 p.m., they ship the same day everything you need for your ride at DennisKirk.com. All right, how are we feeling here, boys? We're almost a quarter of the way through the 2020. Well, not quite, I guess. We're like almost 2 months into the 2023 Write That Down season. How do we feel so far?
It's early for me.
Are you holding a bat?
Yeah, got a baseball bat.
He does that.
I often do
Yeah,
it
he
for,
often does that.
for this.
I don't know
It's
if
good
I've
luck.
noticed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Well, he's been doing it for, I
I
feel
thought
like.
you, I thought
Well,
you
but
asked
the
me about it one
screen is
time.
very small. It's, I don't.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should be
One's
featured
in.
more prominently. Mr. Skinny.
Let's just get rid of everything else.
Thanks to
And just
Olivia.
put Judd with his bat on the screen. So, well, let's start with Judd here, the accountability session. And by the way, here's how it works. If you're new to Write That Down, we've been doing this for years and years. The only show that actually puts statistics next to our predictions, as far as we can tell, in America. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, you can just send us a message through that Score North app. It's free to download, and we'll get you scheduled like we have Mike coming up here for a return trip to the show. So, Judd, you had a few things come off the board in the accountability session. You said Yuli Gurriel would sign with the Twins. He signed with the Marlins like a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure when.
Carlos Correa, very disappointed.
Yeah. They already have Joey Gallo, so I don't know why they need Yuli Gurriel.
Just
But
because they're buddies.
you said Adam Thielen would be with the Packers in 2023.
Yep. I did. I was wrong. I was wrong on that one. See ya. On to new, bigger and better things, new adventures for Adam and the family.
But you did say this is the bunt of all bunts when you do the math on it, because there's like, I don't know, 100+ players. I don't know how many major leaguers are playing in the World Baseball
Yeah, but I got
Classic.
2 major injuries. That's my coup de grace there.
You said at least 2 players major league players who participated in the WBC would begin the season on the injured list. Well, we had Edwin Diaz's knee. We had Jose Altuve's wrist or hand or whatever it was.
Broken, out for months.
Yeah. And then there's probably some other ones in there. I don't
That's
know.
fine.
Did Shohei Ohtani was humping 102 with frisbee movement in that game
Yep.
last night.
Can't wait
on
till
short rest. So,
Yep. Can't wait till July when that arm goes and we're all like, I wonder if it was the World Baseball Classic.
dude, how about I will say that was the first chunk of a WBC game that I had watched, and I picked it up in the 9th inning, by the way.
Yep.
So that was the only inning I watched. If you're in the Angels front office, first of all, Judd would say you should be nervous maybe about the injuries, but you're watching Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in front of the biggest TV audience in baseball history. 2 outs, full count, bottom of the 9th, 1-run game. And Mike Trout said that's the most exciting baseball moment he's ever had in his life. Like, the Angels can't even get a wild card berth with those 2 players on their roster. How incompetent are you?
The history books will at some point show that is one of the worst run franchises and 2 of the greatest players that we missed on in playoffs because of this. And if Ohtani stays there after this season, he's crazy.
He might stay in town, but he ain't.
Well, I hope he
maybe
gets.
goes to the Dodgers.
I want him to go to a team that's going to play in the playoffs.
All right,
that
old
crap.
Macadac said PJ Fleck will surface in a credible report for another college or NFL coaching job sometime by April 1st. I don't think that's happening at this point. I think old Peach is going to stick around for another year. I told you Jalen Noel would be a 6 Man of the Year finalist. Well, they aren't going to announce the finalists for a few more weeks.
Yeah,
I think we're good to take this one off the board.
You're good.
Yep.
But I did look into my March Madness crystal ball and tell you one of these two 13 seeds would pull an up. I didn't know that a 15 and a 16 would pull upsets, but I told you Furman or Kent State would pull an upset. Furman pulled the upset. Little big knock, little home run for Macadac. All right, listeners, our guy Kyle from Flagrant Howl said the Wolves would win 50 games or more. Kincaid said, I was wrong. Kincaid said Vikings and Wolves would win their respective divisions. The Wolves are mathematically eliminated from their division. And then Mark had 3 that came off the board last week. The first 2 were wrong. Texas A&M to the Sweet 16, and then Keegan Bradley and Sam Burns top 5 in the Valspar. But he did say the Wild would earn at least 6 points between last week's and this week's. Write that down, and they did. They earned 6 points. All right. Declan had a bunch of stuff come off the board. You said Jason Day would log a top 10 finish at the Players. I forgot to take that off the board last week. He was like top 20, but he was not top 10. You said Joel Dahman would shoot 66 or better in a round at the Valspar. He made the cut, but he finished. His best round was like a 69, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then you said, oh, wow, all of the 1 through 4 seeds would win their opening round matchups.
Not even close.
That one shocked me too.
That was definitely because it was a 16-game parlay,
yeah,
so it was definitely a home run. But yeah, that was wrong. And then, but you did have a home run here. You said the Wild without Kaprizov would have a 6-goal game or better at some point in the last week. How about 8 against the St. Louis Blues?
Yep.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately. First one.
That night.
So a home run for Declan, who now here has a .500 batting average through the first couple of months with 2 home runs, tied with Judd at .500. Listeners at 231, I'm at 200. We have 1 home run apiece. All time, Declan has a .389 career average. Judd has 263 hits, and the listeners have 43 career home runs. Those lead the category. So there you have it. There's your accountability session. Let's get guest listener Mike in the room here with his professional floating shelf setup for the YouTube channel. What's going on, Mike? How are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
All right. How are you? What's your strategy? So you've been on Ventline. You've been on Write That Down here. So you're a veteran here. What is your strategy today, sir?
Today I'm just going to try to ride that fine line between a base hit and a home run. So I have a couple of ones that are probably just going to barely sneak over the fence. So try to get the listeners back on the board with some home runs.
Okay. Well, let's start with Mike here. You're in the batter's box, so you get the first prediction here. Go ahead.
All right. So last time I checked this morning, I believe Cat and Ant were both doubtful for tonight.
We actually have we do have an update on that as of 5 minutes ago. Karl-Anthony Towns will make his return tonight against the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, okay. And Ant, is he still doubtful? Do you know?
No update as of the recording of this.
Okay. So I was originally going to have a Cat Ant prediction for tonight, but I think I want to move that to Sunday, where I can ensure that they're probably both going to play. Okay. So I might be stepping on someone's toes with this one, but all right. So write that down. This Sunday, when they play against the Golden State Warriors, Cat and Ant Edwards, the Goose, will combine for 50 points.
Okay.
And
so if we'll go at least 50 points, right?
At least 50 points.
Okay.
And I guess that would be a kind of a 2-item parlay. They both have to play.
Yep.
And they would have to score 50 points.
Yep. I don't think there's and maybe it breaks in 10 minutes, but your prediction's on the board here. So I think, what do you think, you guys? Is that a home run? He's saying Ant's going to be back from the ankle sprain.
Yeah, probably is.
I think it's specific enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who knows Cat's workload? Like, I don't know. Like, I assume he's starting. Maybe he's coming off the bench, so I don't know.
He's also, they're both averaging around 25, maybe a little less for Karl-Anthony Towns, and he's coming off an injury, so it's unlikely that this happens. We'll say it's a home run for sure. Cool. All right, Judd.
All right, the report out of Fort Myers, FLA yesterday, since Byron Buxton actually played in a real spring training game, is that Byron Buxton, according to Rocco Baldelli, will open the season as the Twins' DH. In other words, Michael A. Taylor is your center fielder to start the season. So write this down. Byron Buxton won't play a game in center field before May.
Dang it! I had that literally that exact
I also
prediction.
had this exact prediction.
Well, you know what? I don't feel bad I stole it. I don't
actually
feel
also
That's
bad.
had
not the
it too.
exact one.
Yeah,
but it's
Mike's
pretty
like, I
damn
had it too.
close.
I don't feel bad. Mike said, I might have stole this from one of you guys. That's not how this works. First to it, gets it. Byron Buxton, DH is all April, assuming he even stays healthy all April.
All right, okay, Declan.
Wow.
You got to regroup here now.
I'll just shelve that one for now as I think about it. Let's go up to Fargo. I'll make a Frozen Four prediction
Fargo.
here in college hockey. St. Cloud State, my St. Cloud State Huskies, they will make the Frozen Four. They'll win this regional. So they get Mankato in the opening round on Thursday. If they win, they'll most likely play the Gophers, assuming that they roll their first game. I'll say St. Cloud State makes the Frozen Four. They go back, avenge that national title loss from a couple years ago. Go Huskies, woo!
All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make a cat prediction here too. We'll stay on the cat theme here, and plus it'll help Declan frame up this episode on the day that Cat comes back. We're gonna help our executive producer. All right. Karl-Anthony Towns will knock down. I don't think his shooting's gonna be rusty. He's gonna knock down at least 3 3-pointers in his return to the Timberwolves. At least 3 3-pointers he will make. Write it down. I don't think he's a great 3-point shooter. So
It's not a home run.
I don't think it's a home run, but I want to make that prediction. Okay. All right, over to Mike.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the NCAA. Last week was kind of a crazy weekend for the tournament. I took a roll of toilet paper and I took my bracket and I couldn't tell the difference. So that's how my bracket's going right now. So for the Sweet 16, there are there's two 2 seeds and 2 1 seeds left. So for this prediction, write this down. At least 2 out of these 4 teams will lose in the Sweet 16. So off the record, I think I like Miami over Houston, and Gonzaga over Texas is kind of sneaky. I don't think Alabama is going to go down. They're just too deep. And UCLA looks pretty good too. But at least 2 out of those 4 teams are going to lose this weekend.
Okay. I feel like Gonzaga, at some point, Gonzaga has to just win the whole thing. They've been doing this for 25 years now. They're always a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed, it feels like. So maybe this is the year. They got that mustached guy that's like 40 years old and still playing for them.
They've always had that guy on their team.
They
No, he's been there
always
since
there.
like the early 2000s.
Goes back to Munson.
Them in Gonzaga. There's always one guy in Gonzaga with that's like 7 foot and has a headband. It's just it's always there.
All right, we're over to Judd here.
All right, I also have a Frozen Four prediction.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
The Gopher men's hockey team will win the Fargo Regional in the men's hockey tournament this weekend. And parlay, the first line of Cooley, Snuggerud, and Nyes will account for no fewer than 5 goals in the 2 games. So they will win the regional, Declan, and that first line will account for no fewer than 5 goals in the 2 games.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Declan, your second prediction.
All right, I'll make a Minnesota Wild prediction. Ryan Reeves is hot right now. He's actually been scoring some goals after going like 40 games without a goal. I think he has 3 goals in the last week. So when it comes to playoff time, I think Revo gets hot. So write it down. Ryan Reeves will register at least 1 goal in the playoffs. He's going to get hot. He's going to see the hot streak. Red hot here, okay? After no goals in 40 games.
He's going to stand in front and a puck's going to go off his breezers, and that's going to be his
That's
hotness.
all it is. That's a nice little point for Deck. So Ryan Reeves, he registers at least 1 goal in the playoffs for the Wild.
How greasy is that goal going to have to be? It's going to have to be off a skate.
He scored greasy of late.
Off his hip.
He's a master tip-in guy. He's really good at it. He works his ass off.
Is he a master?
He's a master tip-in guy. The tip-in is an art form. He's very, very good at it.
I wouldn't say Ryan Reeves is a master.
He's very good at it.
How many tip-in goals does he have this season?
Like 2 or 3.
I think
But
he has
that's a
2
tough.
or 3 goals all season.
He's at 4 now.
They're all tip-ins though.
No, he scored on a shot or 2. Look, you guys can badmouth him all you want. Revo is one of my favorites. We had a nice conversation
I feel like,
on
but
Sunday.
if you
You talked to Revo?
Yeah, hell yeah, he's a great quote.
What, did you guys go get dinner, or was it just in the room?
No, in the locker room.
Okay.
After the win against the Caps, I asked him about the team's play, and he's great. He's a fantastic quote. He is a TNT studio guy waiting to happen.
Yeah. I just feel like when you call someone a master at something, they're among the best at that craft.
Oh, okay.
So
how about this?
If you had a Mount Rushmore of
no, he's not a Mount Rushmore. He's very good at it.
Okay.
Very good
also,
with the tip in, okay?
Our guy, AJ Fredrickson, he got his tweet shown on NHL TNT last week when Ryan Reeves had a big game. Yeah, he got his, they showed his tweet on NHL TNT. Yeah, AJ's famous.
You better watch out. He might get a job with TNT now.
I think that's already happening, so I might gotta watch out there.
Okay, is it on me now? I think it is,
yes.
right? Okay, write this down.
Lost track.
Write this down.
Write this down. All right, since Judd stole all of our Buxton predictions, I'm just gonna counter Judd here and say Byron Buxton will play at least. I don't know if it's going to be like a late inning replacement. He will step foot in center field for at least one out at some point in the month of April or March. But so before May 1st in a regular season game, he will play center field for the Twins. You can't just wait till May. And I was going to predict the same thing and then bitch about
now
it.
You've decided you can't.
But
wait.
You can't.
I was going to say that, but now I can't.
So is that part of the plan? We're just going to wait a month and then maybe he'll play some center field. Like if you're going to wait a month, then just don't ever put him out there. What's the point?
But they would never tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they operate.
Nor would anyone did anyone report on this? Like I feel like this was like the Buxton plan has been the most secretive thing. Literally plays on the backfields for like a month and a half.
Michael A. Taylor was signed, and I think, Phil, if I am correct on this, you have write that down on this from about a month and a half back. Michael A. Taylor was signed to be this team's center fielder.
Yes, which is a huge story. Right. They
No,
literally signed a starting.
Then go back on the beat. Then go back on the beat and write it because it ain't getting written.
No, I think I'm good on grinding out.
Sitting in Los Angeles talking to Colin Cowherd.
Yes, I didn't actually speak to Colin Cowherd, but we did share a room together yesterday. Rachel Nichols was there. Media luminaries like Cowherd, Nichols, and Mackey all in the same room at the same time.
What's Rachel doing now?
Showtime.
Okay.
She's got an NBA show on Showtime.
Gotcha.
So she was up there with Baron Davis doing kind of a just like state of the media kind of a thing.
I think she's is the show with Harrison Barnes on Showtime too, I think. I think he's one of the partners or co-hosts or something. Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Not sure.
I don't subscribe.
We'll do some. Takes a sip of his coffee.
I'm not a subscriber.
All right, back to Mike. Your third and final prediction.
All right, so I was pretty happy that I was able to get on here before WrestleMania. So I want to make a WrestleMania prediction. So it's going to be a 2-item parlay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Roman Reigns has not been pinned. He's lost a match, but he's not been pinned in it'll be over 1,200 days going into WrestleMania, which is insane. I guess it was 2019 at TLC he was last pinned.
I think it was like Baron Corbin, too, of all people. It's someone random.
Yeah. So I am going to say that streak is going to end on WrestleMania. So for this prediction, write this down. Cody Rhodes will pin and beat Roman Reigns for the Universal title. And for my second item on the parlay, Rhea Ripley will win the SmackDown's Women's Champion. Let's go.
Wow, she's got the shirt. He's got everything.
That's awesome. I love it.
I love it, man. We always respect a good wrestling prediction here. So awesome work, Mike. All right, who would you like to thank here now that you've got this life-changing platform once again? Who would you like to thank in your life?
I'd like to thank God.
Slow sip. And my hands, Freddie Mitchell style.
Yep.
Mike, awesome stuff, man. We'll do it again, I'm sure. Good luck with your predictions and enjoy WrestleMania.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
All right, there he is. Guest listener predictor Mike taking his swings here on Write That Down. Before we get to our final lap here, boys, a shout out to our friends over at Nutrisource. A shout out on behalf of the Maya Mackeys and the Stella Zolgads of the world. We got Vinny in the house as well. Look at that big smile from Maya. That's what she looks like when she knows she's about to get a giant scoop of Nutrisource chicken and rice. Nutrisource Pet Food's the official pet food of the Mackey and Judd show, Judd.
Yes, in fact, I was low on Stella's food yesterday, and so I had to go get some canned, some dry food. And guess who when I came home? Guess who was the most popular pop in St. Louis Park? That was me, not because I'm loved, but because I had the food that Stella loves. There is Stell's and her good friend Ryder with their treats as well. Trading rewards treats are fantastic. Nutrisource, a happy dog, a healthy dog, and a popular owner. That is the hat trick of pet food.
There it is.
Write it down. You like writing things down?
NutrisourcePetFoods.com. Okay, we have Judd here for your third and final.
All right, so Woj and Shams reporting that Karl-Anthony Towns will return for tonight's game against the Atlanta Hawks at Target Center. Cat returns with 9 games remaining in the season, so you can write this down. Karl-Anthony Towns will play in no more than 5 of those games. So 9 games left. He is not going to play. I mean, I'm curious to what Declan said, how he'll be used like off the bench initially, things like that. But I don't see them making this a sprint to play him in all 9 games. So I'm just going to pick an arbitrary number and say he'll play in no more than 5 of those games.
So, well, we'll see here. I think they've got a back-to-back this weekend. He's probably not playing in a back-to-back. And then they have a back-to-back to finish the season.
Yeah.
If those games matter, he will play in both those games to finish the season, I would guess. They probably will matter.
And then he might get hurt again, and then it's all over. Then it's all over.
Classic Sogad.
It's all over.
I was telling, I can't remember, someone was asking about our show. I think down here, like, because there's, hey, Purple Daily hitting 7th on the Apple charts is, I think, of all the luminaries down here, I think Purple Daily hitting 7th has maybe generated the most buzz, industry buzz.
Really?
From the leaders of the sports media world, yeah, or close to it. And somebody was asking about our show dynamic, and I said it's a great dynamic because I think I'm kind of the homer, even though like I'll get pissed at the teams,
right? And
then Judd, the Vikings could literally be like 16-1 and steamrolling up into the Super Bowl, and then you would find like the one thing you're most nervous about and hammer it the week leading up to the Super Bowl. Yep.
That's exactly right. I will come off the top rope, and that will never end until I'm in the ground or cremated.
Judd here for
I'm telling you, Washburn McCreevy, call me. Washburn McCreevy, my wife Dawn and I, we have I want all the old Ray Christensen spots. The cruise, sail the seas with my beautiful wife Dawn and I as we take to the, where I'll be doing Purple Daily from a cruise ship. I want the old Ray Christensen spots. I loved Ray.
Legend, man. Washburn McCreevy. All right, Dex, what's your final prediction?
All right, final prediction for me. I'll make a Buxton one, and I'll just say this. Write it down. Byron Buxton homers on opening day or the home opener at Target Field.
That's good.
I'm gonna parlay it, or not parlay it. I'm gonna give a trap door,
either
if you
or.
will,
Yep.
on one of these
That's
two.
fair.
He will homer on opening day, I believe in KC, or the home opener.
Okay.
Where are they at I forget where their season starts.
Yesterday it's KC and then Miami, right?
Yep.
And then they play at home. Pretty sure.
Yesterday was the most spring training I have watched all season. You said you've watched the World Baseball. I tuned into the game from start to like the 4th or 5th inning when the WoW game started. That's the most spring training I've watched all season.
Yeah, and we'll be talking some Twins. We're gonna give them a chance. We'll talk some Twins here on Mackey and Judd. I feel like it's funny because like when Score North launched and we were doing a lot more live radio back in 2019, the Bomba Squad season, I feel like the Score North Twin Show, even more than Purple Daily for that first year, was like the driver of our brand.
Because they were good.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was a great year.
Was there.
Absolutely.
Judd and I will be at opening day. We applied for credentials.
Yeah,
I like a smart human being, got out of Easter Sunday obligations and applied for credential for that game as well. So I don't have to go to Easter obligations. I'm just thinking ahead.
I love that. It has nothing to do with baseball. It has everything
to do with the Royals and Twins at 1 o'clock on a Sunday. That is correct. I just want to get out of
it's Twins and Astros.
Astros.
Get it right.
I just told you I have not watched like any Twins baseball. I've been very unplugged. I'm trying to get myself back in. My season ticket reps mailing me and emailing me like every week. Okay, I'm just trying to ease myself back in.
All right.
Amazing. I might do the. Can't you pay like $50 or $100 and just get standing room walk around the ballpark tickets?
You can. I think $50 a month gets you the access into the.
It's $50 a month. Yeah.
All right, you might be able to convince old Macadac to do that. Declan, can you get the Gopher Rouser ready for a second here?
Oh boy.
You can find it. I think it's on the Team Anthems page somewhere. Just let me know. We'll wait for it. We have like 16 different button bar pages.
Yeah, I got it.
Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, write this down.
Okay.
It's been 22 long years. The Golden Gophers will win the Natty. The Gopher men's hockey team will win the Natty. First time in 2 decades. Let's bring it home, boys. Bring it home. State of hockey. A new dynasty.
There he is,
A new
Goldie
dynasty.
Gopher. Mr.
begins
Goldie
in
Gopher.
April.
Hockey Goldie Gopher. Bobblehead. There you go.
That's a wrap on Mackey and Judd. Write that down. The only show in America that keeps track of our predictions with statistics. Reckless Speculation Thursday. Tomorrow. We'll see you then.